Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. Renaissance men. What's up? What's up? I'm hearing this side, so I'm going to work with this side. Good, not yet. I won't need you guys yet. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. Hello, Renaissance men. How you doing, sir? What's up? What's up? My freshmen. First of all, I'm so excited to stand before you and thankful that you chose Winston-Salem State University, but more so than that, Winston-Salem State University selected you. It's one thing to be chosen, it's a different thing to be selected. Because now that you've been selected, unfortunately, you can no longer meander in the maze of mediocrity. You won't be able to conform to the cancer of Kant, but you must confirm at the condition of Kant. Without any shadow of a doubt, there is no more shadow, there is no more cloud, there is no more doubt. There's no more laziness. There's no more bad grades. There's no more low self-esteem. There's no more thinking that you can't do it because you're at this university and you're in a support system of leaders like this. Gentlemen, if you don't mind, stand. We want to give you a round of applause for being here today. That might be the last time upperclassmen will give freshmen a round of applause. But I do want to thank you for being here. I've been a part of, I consider the Renaissance Men program, I'm a part of your family. You will see myself and members of my company, and we'll be coming back and providing many different strategies on what's going on, not only with the program, but the needs to let you matriculate, transition, and put yourself in a position to enter into graduate school for free if you put the work in. To get internships for free if you put the, or not for free, get paid for internships if you put the work in. If you put the work in, put yourself in a position that you could be on the 5-year track for a graduate degree, and if you put the work in, because it's about your choices. If you put the work in, not only could you be on the 5-year track, but you could be one of the youngest persons in your entire family to receive the degree that Dr. Cotton has received, and that's your doctoral degree. But it's left up to you. So we're going to have a great program tonight. I want to do a preliminary before we got into the program. So real quick, freshmen, raise your hand real quick. I just want to see where everybody's at. Sophomores, raise your hand. Juniors, raise your hand. Any seniors in here? Okay. So I got from my freshmen to my juniors. I want to talk about the power of taking responsibility. So if you have your iPhone, your Galaxy, your Samsung, put that in your phone. The power of taking responsibility. One of the things when you take responsibility, I want to show you something real quick because the councilman is going to be here shortly. I want to show you something that I want to see you do from this point forward. I want you to sit up just like this for me. Not only I want you to sit up, I want you to position yourself to turn towards this area, regardless of how your seat is, because I want to make sure you understand the power of not only this night, but the power of people that can put themselves in front of you, and you can be in front of them. The reason that that's so important, what I have learned is most of us have not been taught leadership. In order for you to have success, not only in this program, but for you to have success in life, there are a few things you're going to have to do. And one of the first things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to evaluate and inspect the company you keep. One of the biggest things I want to employ upon you gentlemen today, that you are the right person, but you must evaluate the company you keep. Look around the room. Do a quick look. We probably only represent maybe 1% of the male population on this illustrious campus. I watched some of the brothers play ball. Nothing wrong with playing ball. A couple guys came out and asked me, hey man, what you so dressed up for? I said, this is my normal costume. Why are you not dressed up? See, if you want to have success, you got to look like what success looks like. And people say, well, Mr. Griffin, I don't want to necessarily do this every day. I'm not saying you got to do it every day, but here's the game that we're in right now, gentlemen. The game that we're in says that I will see you before I hear anything you have to say. And most of us put ourselves in a position that people watch us and look at us, and as they're looking and they're looking, they are putting themselves in a position to judge you. Whether you're African American or Latino, as young men, especially you that just came to Winston-Salem State, 56% of your friends didn't graduate from high school in the state of North Carolina, South Carolina. When it goes to Virginia, D.C., and New York, 63% didn't graduate from high school. 63%. It is amazing that now the penal system is continuing to build more institutions of penalization versus higher degrees of education. And when you begin to look at that thing, what is going to make you different? What's going to separate you? Well, I'll tell you right now, you're going to have to be careful of the skirt. Yeah, the skirt. I don't act like that. Some of y'all have come here and you seen. You was like, dang, I ain't never seen nothing like that in high school. You hadn't seen it. I mean, it's like, die. And then you walk into class like, ooh. And the worst thing is, see, we playing cool right now because you dressed up, but I need to tell you about the upperclassman skirt. See, the upperclassman skirt, and here's the funniest thing. Some of them are laughing because the skirt, not all of them, but the skirt got some of them last year too. Yeah, I mean, the girl was like, excuse me, boo, and they was like, me? And all of a sudden, you thought it was a refund, and you thought it was going to be fun, and she had fun at your expense. Hear what I just said? She had fun at your expense. Because you hadn't seen one like that before, and you had to work for it. Because in high school, you know, you can kind of, throw your little game, what's up, Mom? What's up, boo? And next thing you know, boop, 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 boop. But here, you thought you got the last message at 10:15. You were the pregame show. Hello. Yeah, you were pregame. In other words, you wasn't even on the starting five because she had another set. Yeah, you wasn't even the starting five. You wasn't the starting five. When you was there, you was sitting over there like. And what she was like, is this how, not all, but this is how she did it. See you tomorrow. And you like, and you thought that meant something. And I'm not trying to be derogatory, but I need you to understand, these are the things that most people don't tell you about because that skirt has so much power. The skirt will stop you from going to class, right? Not only will not stop you from going to class, the skirt, depending on how powerful the skirt is, the skirt can affect your grades. Not only can the skirt affect your grades, Johnny Manziel, the skirt can affect it can affect your money. And people are like, no, Mr. Griffin, no, it's not me. And let me tell you why it's not you. Because the right skirt hadn't ran across you yet. And I'm not talking about something that I'm not having experience. Oh, it got me too. My sophomore year. Because you're a Renaissance man. You cute. You dress up once a week. You got high standards. Everybody in your program, they got good grades. You're leading the campus in academic excellence. So all this stuff is going on. So she's already identified who you are. While you think you're just walking on campus, guess what? And you got to be careful too. Because see, now you've created a name for yourself. You made the dean's list. See, we don't look at who made the dean's list. They look at who made the dean's list. See, we grow up playing basketball, football, playing outside. They grow up playing house. I'm going to get married. There's not a woman that goes to this institution that should not want a successful man. So as well as you are observing them, they are taking a deep dive and looking at you. So you got to be careful in what comes out of your mouth. Not only what comes out of your mouth, you got to be careful in who you actually say it around. It even gets worse because now you are considered what we would call the upperclassman level. You have a high standard. What we got to do as men that have been here, we got to break up these cliques and silos. Some of us got to sit over there so they won't fall in the trap that some of us fell in. Not only you can't sit there, you have to stop looking like we all got it together. Because you know, like I know, not all, but some of them are scared to death. Think about how you felt. It was less than 365 days ago. Because when I talked to you about being scared to death, this is what your head said, not me. This is what your body was saying. You sure is right. And you know how you felt, so don't think just because you've been here 1 or 2 years longer that you can't support them. You have to talk to them about study habits. You're going to have to talk to them and role model what it looks like because they don't know. And here's the biggest thing. You have to keep good character so you will have the ability to check them the right way. Because see, if I see you out doing it, I think I'm supposed to do it. But if they don't see you out doing it, then you have the ability to check them. So unfortunately for you, you can't walk around on campus drunk. You can't be known as the campus hoe. No, not you, because you're a Renaissance man. And I'm not saying don't do you, but I'm saying this, you can't put all your business out in the street. Yeah, dog, last night. And where you got to be careful is, they will not tell you this, not because they're afraid or inferior, but believe it or not, they pick up clues from you. Watch what I do real quick, and remember how you did this, but watch what happens to them. This side of the room, put your hands together. Rub them real quick. Make it into a circle, real quick, real quick, real quick. Swing it out to the right, quick, quick, quick. Put it in the chin, quick, 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 quick. Where's your chin at? Now here's where it gets interesting. You saw it, right? Some of you all were like, And you've got to be careful because there is truth, because 97% of them did what they were able to see. So what if they see you not going to class? Greater responsibility. What if they see you cheating on the test? Greater responsibility. What if they see you, yes, you, the one that was standing up there doing the prayer, then you cussing a young lady out? So you've got to be careful because you thought that you were a Renaissance man. But now you're a Renaissance man that's a leader. And leaders can't do the same thing that other people do because you got to do things different to get something different. You got to do the things today that other people won't do so you can have the things tomorrow that other people won't have. So what do you want to have? Freshmen, the greatest advice I can give you early, quick, fast, and in a hurry is you got to start out with a strong grade point average. Matter of fact, do me a favor, shift your body to this side of the room and watch their body language. You got to start out with a strong grade point average. Not only you have to start out with a strong grade point average, let me tell you something else you got to figure out. You got to figure out what your study habits are. Because in high school, let's be totally transparent, keeping it 100. High school doesn't teach you study habits. Some of you, let's just be honest, because you had the 3.8, you had the 4.25. You've never studied before. You didn't have to study. You were what we call socially smart, but it doesn't mean you're intelligently gifted. You were socially smart, but it does not mean you're intelligently gifted. There is intelligent giftedness here because they have experience, because a few of them ran for office and lost, but still had to keep their head up. A few of them actually tried to holler at the girl in front of their crew, and the girl told them no, and they still had to keep their manhood up. A few of them actually failed some courses and had to go to study hall because these two guys don't play. Because they peeked into your future and the odds are against you, and me, the standards are higher than they've ever been before. Not only are the standards higher, you've got to work harder than ever before. Because you're not competing against black and white and Latinos and Asians in North Carolina. You are a global competitive leader now. Where you think, oh, Mr. Griffin, man, I'm taking 18 hours. Well, in China, they're taking 25. Step up. Oh, Mr. Griffin, I had to get a job. I got a little shorty back at home, and I just had a baby. You put yourself in that position. Now step up and put yourself out of that position. Oh, Mr. Griffin, I'm not decided yet. You not being decided doesn't mean you still can't keep the grades that you need to have. I know that some of you all are staying in Mark. And many of you all get a chance where they say it, and it's what they told me. But you guys seem like you might have jailed a little bit quicker. And some, not all, some of you all are more mature. This is what they said about you. Some of you, yes, you, are more mature than they were. And there's a few of you all. Some of your buddies already got in trouble and got kicked out. Oh, you think Mr. Griffin didn't know? Not only did I know, I knew who you were before you even came into the program. My company works in 24 different states, and most of the high schools that many of you all came from, I either got a contact or a contract in one of them. So you thought you were just coming here. And when you thought I was going around saying hello, I was in the back taking a picture. For those of you all I didn't know, I'll find out because I'll make a call to the Pentagon. You thought I shook your hand. What you didn't realize, you don't know if I got a film on my hand where I can put it on my phone and now I can find out everything about you. And you thought I was just shaking your hand to say hello. Absolutely not. I need to know if you're the right character to fit in this program. Because the great thing about character will take you places that integrity must keep you there. So when we start talking about character, I want to give you 3 quick things. Number 1, you can't teach your way to the top. Only time you're going to find success before work is in the dictionary. Some of you are going to have to put some work in. Let's just be real. You knew you were behind in reading before you came to Winston-Salem State. Sit up for me, please. Because the other thing is, within your presence and how you're sitting, thank you so much, great posture. How you're sitting in your presence, you've got to be very careful, because in the presence of how you're sitting, you're starting to curve your posture. So you've got to put some things in place. This side of the room, it's going to be real critical for you, because now you figured out who those professors are. You're going to have to step up your, what I call, emotional intelligence. And I'm going to teach on that all year long. You're going to have to become emotionally intelligent enough to figure out what's taking place in class and why are you getting B's versus you should be getting A's. Yes, A's. Yes, in chemistry, that everybody else is getting a C in and they had to take the class twice. Yes, because you're a Renaissance man. Every tool that you need is in the program. But what's going to be the great X factor, the difference is, will you have time management enough to stop looking at television and figure out if you're trying to lie to yourself? Yeah. Are you lying to yourself? Because you know, you feel good when you get dressed up. But the difference is, are you dressed up but messed up? Just a question. The second thing that I think is going to be critical for this particular group of freshmen coming in, you're going to have to learn the game quicker than they learn the game. You were aware of the game. You got to help them learn the game. And when we start talking about learning the game, where did I tell you guys it's important for you to sit at? At the front. I told you you need to always be what? Prepared. I told you you need to talk to who after class? The professors. See, here's what most of us do. We go to class, we get our work, and we leave. What we discovered last year is most of us don't even know what the professor taught about. You heard what they said, but you don't know what's going to show up on the test. Midterms are right around the corner. And some of you all are in the shop for your life. How many of you all took a test and you knew that you studied exactly what you were told to study and none of it was on the test by show of hands? Welcome to Winston-Salem State University. Question for you. How many of you all have studied? And I have to ask one question. They're like, yup. But here's the thing. What I would encourage you to do, you're going to have to get with a few of them. So what I'm looking for right now, 3 of you, I need 3 of you to leave this table. I need 3 of you to go to that table. You should do it in 10 seconds. 10, 9. And for those of you that haven't yet, go ahead and mix it up. Go ahead, some right here, go over there. And what's supposed to happen, if this is the reserved seat, if this is the reserved station, by the time the councilman comes in, is it Montgomery, Councilman Montgomery? By the time Councilman Montgomery comes in my opinion, those seats back there should be completely empty. We've got to integrate. Not only have to integrate, now we not only have to integrate, but we've got to figure out what are we going to do to educate ourselves. Upper class. Now watch what's happening. You see them moving, and I didn't even say anything to them. They already understand because they've seen something different. Now the room looks a little lopsided, so we're going to fix it when he comes. But what they're doing is now, if I'm saying I'm my brother's keeper, now I'm coming to help my brother. It's not that they're better than you, but they've been here just a few days longer than you, so they've seen some stuff that you've not seen. Let's talk about these professors real quick. I got 3 minutes. What I need you to understand is the professor at Winston-Salem State University, some are from the state, some are not from the state, some you won't understand. You won't understand it. Some of you will sit in the front of the class and you will take every note and you still don't know what they're talking about. That's just what we've inherited. But what you've inherited does not mean that's in your inheritance. See, you've got to put yourself in a position to get out of your comfort zone. Not all, but some of us, we too cool. I'll tell you what the cool brother looks like. And what I found out, there's nothing wrong with being cool, but the ones that look cool, the last time I checked, they have the lowest amount of money in their bank account. Because they have to give you a persona or a facade, or they got to fake you out to let you think they got it going on, and it's just ongoing. Your study habits. I encourage you today, we're going to be back in the next couple weeks, but I encourage you today, you need to make a schedule. You too. Got to create a schedule. You need to create your schedule for study, because you have a schedule for class. This is going to sound crazy. What did I tell you guys last? You need to create your schedule for what? Parties. Every party on campus you will not be able to go to. And just, if you have not had the experience, and I know you have not, watch their faces real quick. Homecoming is in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Look at their faces real quick. Look at it. Look at it. You hear them giggling and talking underneath their breath? Not all, but last year some of them lost their mind because the girl that didn't make herself up before she went to that 8 o'clock class and had that little thing on her head and had them flip-flops on, oh, she gonna look different. And she gonna look different. And you didn't even really give her time of day. But she knows more about homecoming than we do. Her refund check, she already went and got her outfit. You ain't even seen it yet. She already got her nails. She already got her appointment for her nails and her hair get done. She already got it set up. But the unfortunate thing is, because, now here's the key, because she thinks you're a freshman and act like a freshman, you don't potentially get time of the day because of what she thinks. Let me tell you what happens when you show up mature. Let me tell you what happens when you show up with the Renaissance group. Let me tell you what happens when you walk in class and you're sitting in the front and the teacher calls, and this is crazy about women. When the teacher starts to call on you, this is what the girl is saying in the back of her mind. She's not going to say it to you. Like, dang, I thought he wasn't about that life. He about that next life. And she is looking at you, and it's going to sound crazy. She may act like she's talking to you, but she really won't you. So I'm out of time. But today is so critical for us to respect the power of the Renaissance Men's Program. Not only respecting the power of the Renaissance Men's Program, but the same respect that you gave to me today. I want you to do the same thing to Councilman Montgomery when he gets here. Because it's going to be critical for you to start positioning yourself to know where opportunity is at. Many of us, unfortunately, don't understand opportunity because we've never seen it before. It is an opportunity for you to be in this program. So do me a favor, turn your bodies this way real quick, real quick. I sure wish your local news station could see this. Intellectuals, doctors, entrepreneurs, teachers, some coming from single-parent homes, Section 8 housing, the youngest brother. You knew you had to go home and take care of your little sister because some of your parents and grandparents had to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make sure you had the opportunity to sit in this room. Somebody made a sacrifice. All I'm looking for you to do is to complete this process in 3.5 to 4 years. You're like, darn, Mr. Griffin, 3.5? Yes, people are doing it in 3 and 3.5 years. It's just left up to you. When you start looking at the paper, gentlemen, federal funding is getting more scarce. So if you're on complete financial aid now, all of your money could be taken up in 4 years. I need you to look at your post degrees after Winston-Salem State. Because a bachelor's is great. But I need you to go already start thinking, I got my 6-7 year plan. Some people are, oh man, 4 years and I'm done. You're just getting started. Internships. Something my company's doing this year, and we're going to do this. We're actually not sophomores, don't be mad at me. This year we might even do internships for sophomores. We only did internships for juniors and seniors. This year we're talking about doing internships for sophomores. So I'm excited for you to be at Winston-Salem State. And the last thing I'll say is, Mr. Griffin's tough. I'm going to start popping up in your classrooms. And if I see you slouching, right while the professor's teaching, I'm going to say, Renaissance. In the middle of his lecture, I'm going to tap you on your shoulder. And then, they'll tell you, then I'm going to nicely bust you after class is over with. I'm going to ask you, what were you thinking about? Why weren't you at the front? Why didn't you ask the question? Where was your assignment at? Just because your body was there, I needed your brain there. Hello. So at the end of the day, repeat after me. I can. I will. Maintain. My